So I just wanted to touch on that point of like, we have to take care of ourselves in order to be of service to others, right?
Absolutely.
And this overall kind of relates to our topic for the day, which is we're going to touch on, purpose as a general term. And the podcast that you guys are listening to right now is called the Fit for Purpose podcast. And that's because we love fitness, we love health, we love getting after it in the gym. But aside from that just being a passion, it's also a vehicle to higher purpose, right? And being of service to other people. And, we believe in that for everyone, right? So, yeah, I just wanted to touch on that, jump into that a little bit.
Absolutely.
And, I want you to kind of take it away with what you're talking about as far as like, filling up your own cup before pouring.
Yeah, I think a lot of us, will hear, I work with a lot of like parents, and I feel like this is really common of parents, but others as well. But the idea of like, I constantly have to be serving other people. My time is not my time. And it's kind of this attitude built up of I'm at max capacity with my schedule. I don't have the time to work out. I don't have the time to think about food and things like that. And my encouragement is like, okay, if we're supposed to intentionally care for other people, it's exactly like you said. It's like I have this thing that I'm pouring from, and if that's empty, then are you giving the very best to those people? If it's your kids, if it's your significant other, if it's maybe a loved one that you're caring for, or whatever that looks like. If you're running on fumes, like you're not giving that person the very best. So yeah, there's this like dichotomy when it comes to health and fitness, because it does take time. It takes time to check in with yourself. It takes time to schedule it. It takes time to go do the thing, to think about the thing. You're making constant decisions in your head that may feel like they're for yourself and they're self-pleasing and self-fulfilling, but in reality, like that, we've said this before on our podcast, is like that little bit of selfishness will allow you to inherit like the things that are going to fill your cup, so that you then in turn can take that and turn around and give it to someone else. Like, there can be like vanity connected to exercise, to fitness, to all those things. But one, it's about checking your heart of like, what's your posture, but like, why are you doing these things? But then as you do them, you're going to feel like, okay, I'm moving better. Maybe my gut health is better. Maybe I'm sleeping better. Maybe I'm feeling more confident in my own skin. My clothes are feeling better. And as you adopt those like personas, if you will, or you start to experience the benefits of those things, like, yeah, now I'm going to show up for my kids and the people in my life or whoever else, like, way better.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because like if you don't do those things, like, you're going to be depressed, you're going to lack confidence, you're going to feel sluggish, you're going to feel, and if you don't now, then you will. It's a matter of time, like, till it catches up to you in a sense. And yeah, like, how are you going to be the best version of yourself in that sense? Yeah.
There's so much here.
So much there.
I love it. I love it. Let's get into it. Yeah, I mean, there's so many thoughts just bubbling up right now. The first thing I wanted to touch on, just again riffing off of what you're saying, if you are pouring or trying to pour from an empty cup, or you're constantly in service to other people, or you're telling yourself a story that you don't have time to take care of yourself because you're constantly taking care of the people around you. If you're telling yourself that story, again, I say story because it's not necessarily true.
Reality, yeah.
It's the story that you're telling, right? Eventually, you're going to begin resenting the people that you're taking care of.
For sure.
Because you're exhausted.
That's a great point.
You feel underappreciated. So the people that you love the most, that you're taking care of, you begin to resent them because you feel or you believe that you cannot take care of yourself in the way that you need to. That goes on long enough, that resentment turns into bad relationships, or it turns into passive aggressiveness, or if it goes on long enough, it turns into disease, right, in your body. Because that's unexpressed, that's unmoved energy and emotion that you're experiencing, but you're not expressing, right?
Yeah.
So again, that's a story that you have to question. And just to the point like you just talked about, if you can be aware of that story, start to rewire it and plan and schedule time for yourself, then again, you're going to show up for the people that you care about with love because you have love to share.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be out of the feeling of necessity or the feeling of obligation. It's going to be a labor of love, which is sustainable. A labor that feels like obligation, or you have to do something, or it's a necessity, that's not sustainable. That turns into resentment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything on that?
Yeah. I mean, I was just thinking about like in a practical application of that, like my wife cares for our kids so well. She's so patient. She's so kind. She shows up for them. And it's important that my wife gets breaks from that. You know what I mean? And yeah, like this week, I know she's got 2 nights away from the house and she's going to go hang with friends and she's going to be filled up. And so that when she comes back, she's able to jump right back into what is asked of her as a mom, as a spouse, as, you know, an employee at her job, things like that. So, you know, and in that way, it's like fitness can be that thing. You know, I would obviously encourage you to have like a community and people to go see, and that's a great outlet.
Yeah, fitness is one piece,
but fitness is also a piece. Like if you could take an hour a day and accumulate that in your week of 7 hours in your week that you had you time to yourself, there was nobody you had to like, you know, do anything for, that was tugging on you, that was, you know, asking of you. It was just for you. And you got to become a better person through that activity. Dude, how rewarding is that? So then it's like, okay, I had my workout. I'm going to step foot into my home or, you know, whatever. And now I can be present. I'm going to turn it on. I'm ready to go because I just expressed all this energy out here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And, and you know, like you said, fitness is a piece of it. And community is a piece of it, and having friends and having time to yourself. There's so many pieces to overall health.
Yeah.
Right. So, you know, fitness and exercise are kind of like one little circle that's encompassed in this whole idea of health. Right. And what I think we're overall talking about here is, you know, we kind of specify fitness and working out and nutrition around that, but really what it's about is improving your overall health.
Yes.
Through movement, through being intentional with your nutrition, through being intentional with your sleep, and through being intentional with what fills you up, what makes you happy, what creates love inside of you so that you have that to share with other people.
Yeah.
Right? Not only do you get to serve more effectively when you're taking care of yourself because you have the energy and the love to do so, but you also get to be an example to the people around you of what's possible.
Yes.
And I think that is really huge and overlooked. We are, you know, it's said that we're like the sum or the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. And if you as an individual decide to start taking responsibility for your health, for your fitness, for your happiness, for how you show up in the world, and you improve yourself radically, you know, through just looking better, moving better, feeling better, in general, just having like a brighter light and kind of feeling about you as you move through the world, then you inspire the people around you to do the same by showing them what's possible.
Yep.
So many of us are walking around 20 to 50 pounds overweight, unhappy with our jobs, just kind of like rolling through life, doing whatever feels good in the moment, or distracting ourselves from either what we know we should be doing or distracting ourselves from the discomfort of being overweight and unhealthy. And it takes a lot of times, seeing what's possible to inspire us to start moving in that direction.